Hey guys, Tyler Horvath here again with another video on using WordPress. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use Visual Composer or WP Bakery to build pages in WordPress. So Visual Composer is a super simple to use drag and drop software that you can install on WordPress and easily build pages using drag and drop and not having to know any code at all. It's super powerful, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to use it to build pages. So we got our website up that we've been working on here, and we have WP Bakery installed, and now you can see here that we have this back-end editor and this front-end editor. So we're going to click back-end editor, and that's going to enable the WP Bakery Visual Composer elements to where we can start building out these elements in our drag and drop builder. So to add an element, all you have to do is click add an element, and you'll see a number of these things that you can add here to your WordPress page. So they have rows, sections, icons, images, all sorts of things. But what we're going to start using here is the row. So everything is built on rows and columns, and you kind of just build down from the top. So let's start here with a row. And now this row here is going to span the whole this whole web page here. So in order to create a section or columns, we're going to have to add another row inside this row. And for me, this is common practice. Any row that I create, I always create a row in it, just so it has a containing element, and as well as you can change the column layout here. So on this inner row here, you can change, if you want it to be 2-column, or a wider left column and a shorter right column, or 4 columns. Basically, you can lay out any columns that you want. So whether you need like a ton in a row or just one big one, you can do that. So we're just going to start building out this site here, this page. So this is the home page. So we're going to add a custom heading here that's going to be our first initial H1 tag, and we're going to say Zapier Automation Services, and then you can change it to an H1, H2, H3, etc. But since this is the main heading, we're going to make it an H1, and we're going to align it to the center. And if you want to make custom font sizes, you can do that as well here. How you would do it is adding in the number and then either pixels or whatever type of font size you're using, you can put that in here. Same with the line height. You can change the text color. I always check this to use the theme's default font family. So if you don't, it's going to use this really ugly April face font. So make sure you choose use theme default font family, and then click save. And then we can save that, and let's check out how it looks. Okay, so now we have our body here, and we have the row, which you won't see, but then you have the H1 tag here perfectly. So now let's look at how to customize this row just a little bit. So there's a lot of ways that you can customize each row. So you can click these edit column or edit this row little tab button here. And this will give you a ton of options to add padding or margin to the row. So if you wanted to add more padding, you can go to this design options here, and they have this really easy little box control here where you can add margin, borders, and padding. So these outer rows here are the margins. So let's say you wanted 10 pixels of top margin and 10 pixels of bottom margin. You would put those there. And then same thing with the padding. So let's say we want 10 pixels of padding on the top and then 10 pixels of padding on the bottom. So this will give us 10 pixels top margin, 10 pixels top padding, 10 pixels bottom padding, and 10 pixels of bottom margin. So if you also want to change the background, so let's say you wanted to change the background of the whole row, you could do that. I would suggest doing that in this outer column here, because this one is what's stretched all the way across. So in order to stretch the row, you'll click stretch row. So that will stretch it all the way across the web page. And then we'll go to design options and give it a background color. Let's just give it a really light gray background color, and then click save. So now you see there's this gray background color that we have, and it added the paddings, even though I think we're going to need to edit those a little bit more. But another really useful tool that I use is this tab in Chrome. It's the developer tool. So you just push F12 and you can see these developer tools, and basically this allows you to inspect elements on the website and look at the code, stuff like that. So we're going to look at this inner box here that we have made. So this here is the inner row that we made with the top, the 10 pixels top and bottom padding and margin. So you can see that right there. So if you wanted to just look and see what you would want to change the margin to in your browser to see how it looks good, you can just change those values here. So let's put a little bit more padding on the bottom and a little bit more margin on the bottom and top to really open up this title here and make it more spaced out. So now we have those values, and we'll have to change those in our system. So we have 35 bottom, 25 bottom, and 60 pixels bottom. So now we can just change those numbers in here. This one, yeah. So now we can just add, so 30 pixels at the top and 35 at the bottom, and then the padding is 25 top, 60 bottom. Then we can click save, and now it should match how we laid it out here, since the margin and the padding is the same as we put it in this browser here. So you can see it's the same now. So pretty easy to do. This Chrome DevTools is a great resource to for new developers learning HTML and really seeing what is happening in the back end and the code and what the CSS is doing to change the layout. So let's keep on building this page out here and adding some more examples. So I'm actually going to add a little bit of subtext here just to explain what this page is about. So I'm going to say Zapier's is your one-stop shop for easy Zapier integrations and setup. Okay, then we can save that, click update, and now we should see that text on this site. Perfect, right there. Okay, so now let's keep building out our homepage a little bit. So we're going to add another row. This is going to be the next little element that we're going to show. And in this one, let's do a 4-column layout. Actually, let's do a 3-column layout, and we're going to add 3 features that our service is going to provide. So we have this 3-column layout here. So now we're going to add a heading, and we're going to make these H2s, and they're going to be the services. So let's say Zapier integration, and then we're going to center it, and we're going to use the default font family and click save. And then we're going to also add a little bit of text in here too. And we're going to just clean up that a little bit, and then we're going to center it. Okay, so now we can update this, and let's just check out what it looks like. Give us an idea of what we'll need to do. So I'm going to add a little bit more padding to the top to give this more space. And we'll probably need some in the bottom too. So let's edit this row here. Let's add maybe 25 pixels to the top, 25 to the bottom. Click save. Okay, and that's a little bit more spaced out, so that's good. So now let's add a small icon here above these features, kind of make them stand out a little bit more. So this uses Font Awesome icons. You can also use a number of other icon generators. Font Awesome is great. It'll give you enough icons that you'll need. So you can choose the color here or do a custom color. Let's do a custom one just for fun. And let's make it like, I don't know, this color orange here. And now you can change the size of it and the alignment as well. So we want to center it because everything else in this column is centered. And we're going to make it extra large as well so that it really stands out. Now let's click save and let's check out what that looks like. Okay, perfect. So we got the big icon there. got the title, and then we got our little description. So now that we've created that and we like how it looks, it's much easier just to duplicate these and move them over. So to move things around, all you have to do is click on, hover over the element, and then click on this little moving little button here, and you can kind of move it around. Now it's a little hard to get used to because things kind of move around a little bit, but once it's shaded in there, you can let go and it will drag that element over. So let's do that with all of these other elements here. So let's copy these and move it over. And then let's just do that again. Duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And we can move them over. Okay, and let's click save and let's see how that looks. Okay, cool. So it looks good. So now we can edit, those two other columns and add different information. So let's change the icon on this one, and let's set it to, I don't know, how about a little finger? And then we can say custom actions, and then this one, let's do handicap sign and say handicap sign. Okay, then we can click update, and then boom, we have our little feature list here with the 3 features and the text and the little icon as well. So that's how you do that. So now let's do another one here, and let's add a detailed feature and put an image beside it as well. So let's add our row, let's add our inner row, and then let's change this to this little layout here where we have the long left one and the short right one. These are great for putting an image on the right here and text on the left. So let's create our custom heading here. And this is going to be an H2, and it's going to say more about Zapiers. And we're going to do our default font theme. And then here we're going to have a long text that describes more in detail about Zapiers. And then over here we can put an image. So here is where you can add the image, edit the image, all of that. So how this works is you basically just click this little image box here, and that will pull up the media library. And now you can either upload a file or choose one of your old media library files that you have installed already. And we're going to click Set Image. And that's going to set that image for this image right here. So you can also change the size of it depending on how you want it to expand. So let's just do full, and that will make it as big as possible while still being mobile responsive. And then we're going to align it to the center, and everything looks good there. So we're going to click Save. So let's update that and see how that looks. Okay, so you can see here I put the image in full width as much as it can, but you can see that they're not aligned in the middle. So if you would like to align 2 column things in the middle as equal height, you can click the edit on this inner row here, and you can choose this equal height checkbox, and that will make the rows equal height. So if you have longer text than the image, it will put that image in the middle so that they're horizontally equal in height. So you can also change the content position. So if you want them to be aligned to the top, you can do that, or the middle or the bottom. So we're going to align them to the middle, so everything is aligned through the horizon, or through the horizon, and everything is in the middle. So you can see here it moved down to the middle, and now it's aligned in the middle of the page. So that is basically how you use Visual Composer to lay out pages using drag and drop functionality. There's no code involved at all, and you can build out pages really fast using this drag and drop method. So if you have any questions at all about using Visual Composer or building pages using Visual Composer, please comment below, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks, and have a good one.